Coming up.
Basically, what I thought was my dream job turned into a nightmare. From day one, it was just harassment from the crew. I actually got a recording of one instance.
Hey, yo, Mark, come here.
Wait a minute. Tell me what happened.
Miss Bennett and I, we know each other because she is dating my sister. Basically, I know she just graduated from construction school. I just bought a house for a really good price. And so I was working with a contractor to basically get my house remodeled. She asked me for money originally, and I wasn't okay with giving her the money because I know how Haley is, because she's been with my sister for a while, so I know how she can be. The contractor actually asked me if he needed an assistant. So I said, well, I know Haley just graduated, and so I let him know that she would be a perfect fit for it. So I told her, yes, you can work for me. So I hired her for $13 an hour as an assistant to the contractor. She worked for 2 weeks and then she stopped.
How many hours? A regular 8-hour day?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was just a little taken back as to why she would stop working for me, especially being that she was borrowing a lot of money. Initially, she asked me for money to help her with her car. She asked me for $2,500.
Did you loan it?
I loaned it to her,
Okay.
yes. I loaned her $2,500.
So this was before she started working for you?
Yes, that was the original when she first asked me. And so that's when I told her, I'm just going to take a second to think about it before I actually loan you the money.
Okay, so you're saying she asked me for money and I didn't want to give it to her. So are you telling me now that she asked to borrow this $2,500 instead of giving her the cash money? You said, I'll loan you the money in exchange for that you work?
Yes.
So she was going to work off her debt?
Yes, essentially. So after the $2,500, then a week later, she asked me for $200 to buy my sister a Christmas gift and a birthday gift. Then she asked
Did you give it to her?
I loaned it to her, yes.
Okay, so now you loaned her another $200.
Yes. Then she asked me for another $1,000 because she was behind on bills. So after that,
So what, you the money tree?
that's well, I mean, I help my sister out. And so I guess she felt comfortable asking me because of my sister, because they're together. And so I told her, like, you know, I don't have a problem for you working it off because I just know how Haley is. So that's why I didn't want to just loan it to her because I knew she wouldn't pay me back.
So now we're up to $3,700.
Yes.
Okay. Over what period of time?
This was over about a few months.
She hasn't worked a day and you loaning more money.
Yes.
Go on.
So I actually drew up a contract. We had a loan agreement contract.
Oh, you finally drew up a contract.
Well, yes. So we had a loan agreement contract, and then this is the contract of employment.
You know they're two separate things, right?
Yes.
Go on.
She just stopped working because she said she felt like she was uncomfortable in the situation. I own my own business and I know what goes on. So I just didn't really feel like she was doing her part in the whole situation. Being that this is my house, I would, just come sometimes. Sometimes I would bring them lunch or I would just supervise, just look over it, just make sure everything is going as planned because I was getting different parts of my house remodeled. So I just wanted to see the progress that the contractor and her and his workers were on.
Well, servitude is over and involuntary servitude is no longer allowed. Did you realize that?
Yes.
Okay.
But like I said, it was a loan. It was just a loan.
You're not tied to work to pay off the loan. Not tied to work for me to pay off the loan. That's called involuntary servitude. Slavery. You familiar with that concept?
Yes.
In history?
Yes.
You can't do that anymore. Ms. Bennett, what happened?
Well, I'll give her, it wasn't involuntary because the goal was I was getting paid from the job. It was a job I
so it was a
wanted.
job for you to learn the trade in the industry.
Yes.
And you agreed to repay her the money from that
Yeah,
working.
and then I would be making extra. I'd have extra from that. But I didn't do it carelessly. I knew how much I would get by the end of the job, which the goal was to finish. And so I was behind on bills. So of course it was more of an advancement pay. Can you, because I know her personally, lend me some money and obviously.
Sounds like you were behind on everything.
Yeah.
Sounds like you just were using her as your bank. Why did you just walk up to somebody and say, can you give me $2,500?
Well, I asked as a loan.
Wow. So which part of the construction were you doing?
Mainly I do a lot of carpentry work. So I was helping with the shelves, but I would assist him with paperwork. And if something needed to be transported from one part of the site to another, I would help with that.
What happened?
Basically what I thought was my dream job turned into a nightmare. From day one, it was just sexual harassment from the crew every single day.
From day one?
Yeah, when I started working.
What was the sexual harassment?
First it was catcalling. In one instance, I told them I wasn't interested in men in the first place. I said I was a lesbian, and the main guy behind it just said, "Oh, I'd love to see you in action." And then he said that if he had a chance with me, I would change my mind about women. Every time I was carrying something, they'd be like staring at my body. I'd hear snide remarks. I'd hear stuff like, I must be good with my hands. And
how long did this go on?
I worked there for
2 weeks.
2 weeks. It was about 3.
2 weeks.
2 weeks I paid up. Well, I
2
was still
weeks.
on the site for 3.
2 weeks. And this started happening from the beginning, you
Yes.
said. So when did you tell Ms. Montgomery or you just walked off?
Well, no, I told her. At first, I thought I could deal with it, right? And then after a week, I thought I need to go tell her what's happening. She just disregarded it.
Not true.
What happened? Did she tell you? Did she come to you with any complaint about the gentleman's conduct?
So I spoke to him and he said that nothing happened. He said that actually Haley was lazy. She didn't do anything. Every time he would ask her to do something, she was always talking back, or she'll be like, I don't have to do anything because I'm Charlotte's sister's girlfriend. I'm just here for learning.
So he denied the sexual harassment.
Yes. I just told him, this shouldn't be an uncomfortable work environment for her because she is learning and she wants to succeed in her career. And so what he ended up doing was he actually drew me up a paper saying that and notarized it saying that nothing happened with his employees and with her and that she was basically making it all up and it was a professional environment.
So he denies the sexual harassment.
Yes.
And you say it continued. So by the second week you left.
It kept going on. So I actually got a recording of one instance
Okay, is this before or after you had complained to her?
after.
All right, let me
And
hear
I
it.
submitted it.
Let me hear it.
Okay, I see you. I see you. Where you going? Hey, yo, Mark, come here, come here. All right, now, okay. I like that.
It's not directed towards her. You can't even hear.
Yes, I was the only woman on site. Well, they knew me from that I was there the whole time, and I made it known that it's unwanted sexual harassment.
Okay, so now how do you propose to pay her back then now that you quit the job and it was sexual harassment?
Well, I told her I'd be willing to do another job for her, and she
No,
just
I don't want
said
you
no.
working for me. No. She just walks off.
And then I told her I am looking for another job, but because
How many hours did she work and how much money did she actually earn?
She earned about $1,300.
Okay.
So she paid off that. So what's left is the $2,400 that she does owe me. So she.
So how do you propose to pay that off? You signed the agreement to pay her $3,700 because you're not working.
well, I am looking for another job, but because of the weather, it's hard to find a lot of
It's been
construction
9
work.
months.
Right,
Not-
but
it doesn't
she's-
take that long to find a job.
You can do something. Well, I don't know how long it takes to find a job.
Not enough to pay her back. I still have my own
Yeah, but what, you still have your own what?
bills.
Really? Her debt is a bill too. When did I
know.
tell somebody? Didn't I just say that the other day? That if you keep loaning other folks money, friends, relatives, grandma, grandpa, sisters, brothers, that they'll always say to you, sister, brother, friend, I got other bills to pay. I got other things to do with that money. You always come last. Because Johnny and the mailman and the utility bill and the grocery bill and the car note and everything else for them becomes much more important than the money they owe you. She's never going to pay you back. I'm going to make an order, but I trust you. Trust me. I doubt if you'll ever see this money again. People like her just going to keep asking other folks for money and keep being in debt. She was in debt when you were in debt when you asked her for the money. So she's no longer a creditor. Everybody else is a creditor, but not her. That's why you kept borrowing from her, because she wasn't charging you 25% interest.
Right.
And because you didn't have to fill out a credit application that you never would have passed, and no one else would have loaned it to you. Because you didn't have a job and you were in debt till you're behind.
The plan was to,
Oh, I don't hear no plan. You ain't never planned to pay this woman back, please. And you're going to go to her for more money. Within a month and a half, you went to this woman over and over again talking about give me more, loan me more, give me more, loan me more. You didn't plan to pay her back. You were just using her as a patsy, and you're going to keep on doing it as long as she lets you. I hope you've learned your lesson with her and your sister. These are two grown behind women.
Yeah, I understand.
Let them work and make their own money. But if you want to, keep loaning it to them.
No.
But you're going to be broke. And I guarantee you they won't loan you anything. Judgment for the plaintiff to pay her the $2,400.
Yep, I totally agree with that judgment. It doesn't really matter. I do feel for the woman on the construction site, her being harassed like that. I do feel for her, and I do feel bad for her. But she made a commitment to pay back the loan, and she signed a contract. So, bottom line, she has to pay it. What do you guys think about the judgment? Do you think it was too much, too little, or just right? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know. Love ya.